All right, this is notes on 1-5, exploring angle pairs. So we talked about angles in the last one. Now we're going to talk about pairing them up. We have some definitions. So again, I want you to write down the words and the pictures for these definitions. So vertical angles are angles on opposite sides of an X. So let's draw that out. So think about it like this. You draw an X. If I have this angle here, the one on the opposite side is its vertical angle. Yay! Okay, linear pair, two adjacent angles that form a straight line. So to draw a linear pair, you first start with your straight line. And then to make two adjacent angles, you just draw, they're going to share. Remember, adjacent angles share a side. So this angle here and this angle here are a linear pair. So that I think of it together, the pair of them form a line. Complementary angles are angles that when combined together, they add up to 90 degrees. So in this scenario, when you're drawing the picture, you start with a 90-degree angle. Remember, the little box in the corner means 90 degrees. And then you just split it. And then so this angle here and this angle here combined together make our complementary angles. Supplementary angles are two angles that add up to 180. So in this scenario, you start with a straight line. And then you throw a ray in the middle. And then this angle and then this one right here together are supplementary. Now, the difference between supplementary and linear pair, you're like, Ms. Abelgarth, they're both like a straight, they both make a straight line, is that a linear pair, they have to be adjacent. On supplementary angles, you can have one over here and one over here. And they can, as long as they add up to 180, they can be supplementary. So linear pair, they got to be right next to each other. Supplementary, they don't have to be next to each other. Okay, we're going to do a little chit chat on why are vertical angles congruent. So guess what? Vertical angles are congruent. If they're across from each other on the X, they're going to have the same measure. So we're going to just remember this little sideways L means angle. So we're going to say if we have let's draw the picture that goes with this. Okay, so we have our little X, and we're going to say if this is angle 1, this is going to be angle 3, and this is going to be angle 2. Okay, we're going to say that angle 1 and angle 3 are a linear pair. And then they're supplementary, they're a linear pair and they're supplementary. They're going to add up to 180 degrees. Well, we can say the same thing with angle 2. Oh, let's go like this, sorry. Sorry, my angle is in the wrong spot. Okay. Sorry, angle 2 is supposed to be right here. So angle 1 and angle 3, they add up to equal 180. Angle 2 and angle 3 also add up to be 180 degrees. When we combine them together, they make a straight line. Okay, so if I'm going to do a little substitution, I'm going to take out this 180 and in its place put angle 2 plus angle 3. So I'm substituting one equivalent item for another. Because I know angle 1 plus angle 2 is 180, So I can substitute it in right here for this 180. So angle 1 plus angle 3 is equal to angle 1, or angle 2 plus angle 3. So just for fun, what if I got rid of an angle 3 on both sides? So I subtracted an angle 3 off of both sides. An angle 3 minus an angle 3 gives us a 0, and then I get angle 1 is equal to angle 2, and that's why vertical angles are congruent. Da, 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 da. So angle 1 is the same measure as angle 2. They're the samesies. All right. We're going to find some measures of angles. So we're going to call this like angle 1, angle 2, and angle 3. And we're going to find all these 3 other angles. So I can tell you right now, because angle 2 is a vertical angle to 80 degrees, that the measure of angle 2 is also 80 degrees. We know that when I add 3 plus 180, the measure of angle 3, plus the measure of 80 equals 180. So angle 3 plus 80 degrees has to equal 180. It makes a straight line. So here, essentially, here are the side notes to these example problems. We are using vertical angles are equal, measure, and we're also using straight line equals 180 degrees. So these things are you're gonna be expected to kind of hang on to this tool in your toolbox, because often we're gonna do some work on angles, and one of the ways we're gonna find the angle measures is using these 2 properties. It kind of doesn't go away the whole semester. Okay, so if measure of angle 3 and 80 degrees add up to be 180, then the measure of angle 3 has to be 100. Okay. And then we're going to use vertical angles to find the measure of angle 1. Sorry, this is that sideways L. If angle 3 is 100 degrees, then angle 1 has to be the same because they are vertical angles. All right, my geometry fans, I know that you left algebra and thought, okay, I'm so out of algebra, I'm done with you, algebra. Well, I have bad news. We are in this geometry book and in geometry in general, we sneak algebra back in because the next step is algebra 2, and we don't want your algebra skills to get rusty. So you'll see algebra sneak in here. It says draw a diagram and solve. Oh, no, sorry. Example 2. Solve for x and y. This is like 2 different problems, the solving for x problem and the solving for y problem. So I'm going to do x on the left-hand side and y on the other. I'm going to pull my x's here. If I want to solve for x, I don't want to touch the y. So I'm just looking at these 2 little pieces right here. The 2 of these angles together add up to equal 180. So essentially, I'm going to say 3x plus 5 plus x plus 15 adds up to equal 180. And now we're just going to solve some equations here. So I'm going to combine my like terms. So my 3x and my x will give us 4x's. 5 plus 15 will give us 20. And now I'm solving equations. We solved equations the first week we were back just so that we could be here. So this is 160 equals 4x. We're going to divide by 4. And x is equal to 40. Okay, now we're going to go on to the y business. So we're just going to look at the y's, and the same thing is true. When I add the two y's expressions together, they're going to equal 180 because the two of these guys make a straight line. Anything that makes a straight line adds up to 180. So y plus 20 plus 4y minus 15 equals 180. I'm going to combine like terms. 1y and 4y give me 5y's. 20 minus 15 gives me 5, and the 180 stays. So we're going to subtract 5 from both sides. And 180 minus 5 is 175. We're going to divide both sides by 5. And just for mental math fun, 5 goes into 17 3 times with 2 left over. 5 goes into 25 5 times, so y is equal to 35. If you guys want to go ahead and do that in your calculator, that please use your calculator. That's totally fine. I just didn't want to click off of what I was doing to go get my calculator. Okay, we're going to draw a diagram and solve these problems. So we have A and C. The two are complementary. So we're going to start out with a right angle. A is 38 degrees. C is we don't know. So we say the two of them added together, C plus 38 degrees has to equal 90, because that's what complementary is, two angles that add up to equal 90. We're going to subtract 38. So the measure of angle C, 90 minus 38 is 52. Woo-hoo. Okay, the next example problem is this B. Measure of angle T is 6x minus 1. Measure of angle R is 5x minus 17. They are supplementary. Find the measure of angle T and the measure of angle R. So we're going to go straight. Supplementary is two angles that add up to 180. I'm just going to throw this in. So this will be T, this will be R, 5x minus 17, and 6x minus 1. When we add the two together, they should equal 180 because that's what supplementary angles are. So I'm going to write that here. I'm going to write 6x minus 1 plus 5x minus 17. It's going to equal 180 because they're supplementary. Okay, combine like terms. 6x's and 5x's give us 11x's. Minus 1 minus 17 more is negative 18. Then I'm going to add 18 to both sides. And 11x equals 198. We're going to divide both sides by 11. I am going to pull up Mr. Calc for this. answer. X is equal to 18. And we look, we have not found the answer. It says find a measure of angle T and the measure of angle R. So we're going to take 18 and hop them back in for X. We'll do it here too. 5 times 18 minus 17. And we're going to get Mr. Calculator back out. 18 times 6 minus 1. So measure of angle T is 107. We should put degrees on there for fun. And then the measure of angle R is 55 times 18 minus 17. 73. Okay, hopefully last example problem. Yep. Angle X is supplementary to angle Y. Angle Y is complementary to angle Z. If angle X is equal to 4X, angle Y is equal to 2X plus 18, what is the measure of angle Z? Let's take care of X and Y first. They are supplementary, which means when we add them together, they equal 180. So X is 4X. So we'll call this angle X. Angle Y is 2X plus 18. When we add them together, they equal 180. So we're going to combine like terms. 2x's and 4x's is 6x's. We're going to subtract 18 from both sides. 2, this is 7 minus 1 is 6. It's 162. Divide by 6. Divided by 6. 27. Thank you, Mr. Calculator. It's what a pleasure. Okay, so we know X is equal to 27. So now we can take care of Z. If angle Y is complementary to Z, so when we add them together, they equal 180. So remember, Y is 2x plus 18, and angle Z is whatever's left. So we're going to go plug this in right here. So we're going to go 2 times 27 plus 18. And that's 72. So 72 degrees plus whatever the measure of angle Z is has to be 90. So the measure of angle Z is 90 minus 72, which in this case is 18. Okay, so you guys, those are all the notes. Now it's your turn to go work on the practice on 1-5. Answer these questions. If you have any questions on how to do these, please ask and come to office hours and come to our live session and ask your questions. Thank you so much.